All across the world, you can hear the sound of a game that roars. The Olympic Games in South Korea are just around the corner, serving as another reminder that what began centuries ago on a sheet of ice in Scotland has gone truly global. This winter, the tradition continues in a new locale, Omaha, Nebraska. 4 teams from 3 different continents come together to see who will emerge with the coveted American Cup. Last season, after 3 years of trying, that honor finally belonged to Team USA. Now with the U.S. Olympic trials fast approaching, a new set of American faces will look to defend the crown. Tonight at Baxter Arena, the U.S. men's team, led by skip Heath McCormick, looking to bounce back from a tough loss in draw number 1. Can the Americans contend with a Chinese side looking to earn crucial points in the quest for the cup? It's a question that will be answered tonight. NBCSN Curling Night in America. NBCSN happily presents another edition of NBCSN Curling Night in America. Nightfall in Omaha, Nebraska, and inside Baxter Arena. Normally, backers of the University of Nebraska-Omaha Mavericks are there. This time around, it's curling fans, American fans, as the Olympic Channel, home of Team USA, presents our latest game, the U.S. and China. Welcome back to Omaha and another edition of NBCSN Curling Night in America. Jason Knapp, so happy to have you with us alongside the Olympic bronze medalist and 8-time U.S. national champion Pete Fenton. Pete, good to see you again.
Thanks, Jason. It's good to be back.
For those of you who haven't been with us so far this season and don't quite know what's going on, don't worry. It's rather simple. We have 4 nations here, China, Japan, the United States, and Scotland, each bringing 3 teams for men's, women's, and mixed doubles play. Our format this season just a little bit different, so we'll see the majority of the mixed doubles competition at the tail end of the campaign. The winners in each category will get an honor, and the overall top nation, when all is said and done, brings home the American Cup. Pete, tonight we'll see our second look at the American Med, skipped by Keith McCormick, and boy, they have to come back from a devastating loss in their opener.
Yeah, they really did have a great start to the first game, and unfortunately they weren't quite able to close the deal. They have to put that behind them now and come out and play a good, strong second game.
And they'll take on a country that recently always seems to be in the mix in a major international competition, and that's the men from China.
Absolutely. With great finishes at the recent World Championships and Olympics, China is led by coach Marcel Rock. He has lots of experience, and he's really starting to build a great program in China.
So it's China and the United States tonight. For more on our featured game, let's check in with our Trenny Kisner.
Jason, thanks very much. I had a chance to talk with skip Heath McCormick about that disappointing first draw and the loss to Scotland, and he said while it was disappointing, the team also learned a lot of lessons. McCormick's rink has been working on a number of things all summer long, and this was really their first chance to put those lessons to use on the ice. He said that one of the biggest lessons they learned is if they're in the situation again on that final end, he'll draw, because they're going to go to a shootout in this kind of format. They're not going to be able to go to a 9th end and then push it for 8 additional stones. So that is the biggest lesson that they took away, but he said they feel very confident that they were in control of that entire draw, and that's what they'll take into this match with China. Now back up to you guys.
And Trenny, we've seen that draw to the button bite the U.S. a couple of times in their 2 losses so far on Curling Night in America. The 2 wins for the U.S. as you look at the overall team standings, coming courtesy of the mixed doubles team from the United States of Matt and Becca Hamilton. We'll see them later on this season in our series here from Omaha. So ready to go for the Chinese men and the Americans, the U.S. winning the draw to the button before this game to determine who has the hammer, the last shot advantage. So China shooting yellow rocks throws first here. 8-end game, and the closest of your stones to the middle then are closer than those of your opponent. Those are the ones that count in each end.
So China, wanting to force the issue a little bit here in the first, has elected to throw a center guard, as opposed to sometimes we see the game begin with first rock thrown into the house.
Xiao Jilin delivering the first rock for China. And Tom Howe has the honor of the first stone in play for Team USA. The 22-year-old lead, originally from Bentleyville, Ohio. Been a student at Marquette University in Milwaukee most recently.
Only. We're there. 14-8. Touch the paint. Only.
We're good.
Oh. Very good, Tom.
My bad, Tom.
Pretty good start there by Tom Howell. Overswept a little bit. We were just Heath wanting that just touching the paint. Nice and high in the house.
Zhao Chan is holding the broom. He'll actually shoot third rocks, but serving as the skip as we go through the Chinese contingent. Here's the second from Zhao, the lead. Hit and stay for Team China. The 22-year-old lead has won 3 Pacific Junior titles with China, been on a couple of World Junior teams. And this latest throw, pretty good one.
Nice quiet weight here. He's able to get by the guard closely and actually roll inside just a little bit.
Yep.
Tom Howe, he's a 3-time U.S. Junior National champion. Part of a U.S. silver medal winning team at the World Juniors in Denmark in 2016, along with one of the guys brushing right there, Corey Dropkin.
Nice throw, Tommy.
Back then, Corey was skipping the team. Tom played third on that junior rink.
And those two young Americans matched up here with veterans Chris Plies and Heath McCormick on this men's team, representing the U.S. at this event and vying for an Olympic spot at the upcoming U.S. trials. And if you've watched curling night before in a lot of big competitions, Ba Du-shin would be familiar from China. Been a part of a lot of the big Chinese teams in recent years at the Worlds. He's the second for this Chinese team tonight. And there is Corey Dropkin, originally from the New England area in Massachusetts, but operating out of Duluth, Minnesota. Been studying at the University of Minnesota, Duluth.
Corner guard.
Oh, just let it right where it goes. Right where it goes. Good. Good shot.
So the house empty for the moment, and we are underway on NBCSN Curling Night from Omaha. Curling Night in America is being brought to you by the Team USA app. Download now and play the brand new Team USA Curling Challenge and sign up for your chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to Park City for a Team USA Winterfest celebration. By the World Curling Federation, proud supporter of curling everywhere. By the 20,000 plus members of USA Curling, and by Cryomax 8-hour cold packs, the most advanced cold therapy technology available today. Omaha, Nebraska sits along the Missouri River, and going across it, the one-of-a-kind Bob Carey Bridge, one of the longest pedestrian bridges anywhere. 3,000 feet long, S-curving its way along the river, providing great views of the city. Baxter Arena providing a gorgeous look at our curling showcase as we resume end number 1, China and the United States here in men's play tonight.
点上来大一点啊，连吧，线路可以，线路很好，线路很好，线路非常好，线路非常好，正常，线路正好，正常，线路非常好，6区2.2。
Got a pretty good looking one coming into the house here. Looks like it should be behind that center guard.
Ba Du-shin puts it in, and Heath McCormick
Control.
We don't need to play a lot. Yeah.
looking on.
Try and stick the guard too.
I just want to throw normal. Let's throw normal. Control. Okay.
Yeah. Control.
Here's a look at Corey Dropkin.
Pretty close.
May remember him from season number 2 of Curling Night in America. He and partner Sarah Anderson were the mixed doubles team for the Americans that season.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And speaking of doubles, that was a nice one.
Nice shot there by Corey. Good line call by Heath. able to remove that Chinese stone and actually keep the shooter to help provide a little cover here. You can see this rolls under and into the open just a little bit.
Great weight.
Here's our first look at Zhu Qian, 26-year-old third, who's actually the skip for this team. Skip doesn't always have to shoot last rock, so that's the way it's traditionally done. Seen some teams in recent years have success with their skips making decisions from a different spot in the batting order, if you will.
Yeah, and it's different, you know, from one team to the next as to how they choose to line up.
Well, the U.S. with a traditional lineup. Let's meet the Americans.
Tom Howell, lead, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Corey Dropkin, second, Duluth, Minnesota.
Christopher Plies, third, Duluth, Minnesota.
Heath McCormick, skip, Sarnia, Ontario.
Chris Plies, proudly from Duluth. Junior world champion back in 2008 and an alternate for the U.S. Olympic team in Vancouver in 2010.
Go ahead, Cor, go ahead. Good. Cor.
So the U.S. would love to find a way to get its deuce with hammer here in the opening end. Well, we've got a second. Let's meet Team China.
Shao Zhilin, lead, Harbin, China.
Ba Dexin, second, Harbin, China.
Zhou Qiang, third, Harbin, China.
De Jiazhou, fourth, Harbin, China.
Here is Zhou Qiang, the third, who is also acting as the skip. Was the alternate for China last year at the Worlds in Edmonton, where the team finished 5th, with Liu Rui, who's been the most likely skip in the biggest events for China in recent years. But again, this country, like a lot of the Asian contingent, coming on strong as their core group of maybe a dozen or so curlers kind of interchange and get experience together at a lot of these big events.
Yeah, that's part of the development of these countries, trying to set things up for, you know, Olympic medals and continued success within their programs.
Second stone from Chris Plies. Able to guide it to the right spot. Just the skip stones remaining, or the fourth stones if you're looking at China, with Zhu Dazhou ready to go. And really important, Pete, next Olympics coming up here in just a matter of months in February in South Korea. In that part of the world, the following Olympics will be huge for the Chinese at home in Beijing in 2022. It is a big time, and we know how much China puts into its Olympic efforts.
Yeah, and all of these Asian countries, the Pacific Rim countries, are really working hard and putting lots of resources into that chase. China catching a piece of that tight guard, almost chipping the Americans into the rings.
And the shooter does scoot out.
Or just right here.
I thought Chris was throwing 5-8.
Yeah, I like that.
It's against one. If he wants to go all the way around, let him.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think about just splitting the house?
Those guys will have a good time for you. Okay.
They could get the nose, though. They get the just inside.
So Heath McCormick, his first crack shooting here, opening in.
You want to just like locked on, right?
Oh, lock.
Pardon?
Like
Interesting call here by
Yeah.
Heath McCormick to go around the center guard with the hammer. He has a chance to throw the in-turn to the wing, maybe behind the tee line, and lie to and keep things nice and simple.
Nice, like around almost 15-0.
Okay.
So you want it like top 8, basically?
Yeah.
Do you like this play?
He's good.
Well, the thought process for him is, I think they're trying to set up a potential 3 here in the first, but they've got kind of a tailor-made deuce lingering.
Line's nice.
We'll see how it plays out.
5, 6.
Okay.
6.
6.
No.
6.
4. 3, 4. 4.
Line's good.
You gotta go.
Just trying to get it around the guard into the top part of the house. Doesn't have the distance.
Not sure if it nipped the guard, but either way, well short of the house.
Thought it was good.
I was in the practice. I guess Richie told me the wrong ones. So I'm throwing 3, 4.
I don't like that rock.
So the U.S. certainly can't be pleased, and now 1 stone left here for each team.
Yeah, not exactly what they had in mind there, obviously.
Last stone coming up here for China, open again.
The Chinese definitely know this track and the ice. They've played several shots right here this end. Trying to tap the Americans out and roll under the guard.
That one hanging on in the paint to the back of the house, but still the Yellowstone is the counter right now, and that's for China.
Yeah, I think that's good enough for the Chinese. They really haven't left Heath with anything but a draw for 1.
So now Heath McCormick ready to slide back. May have heard him say his hometown and seen it on the graphic. Sarnia, Ontario, playing for Team USA. Well, Heath, born in Lansing, Michigan, now lives and grew up a lot of his life north of Detroit in Canada. Still lives there with his wife and 2 daughters. Started curling as a junior in Canada in the early 90s. Eventually recruited to play for the United States, and as a dual citizen of both countries he can. And now on the verge potentially of a possible Olympic quest for the United States, depending on how this team does at trials coming up soon. Right now, how will he do on this last shot of the end, trying to salvage a point for the U.S.?
Pretty close to the same track that he threw his first rock on.
And this one's not close either. The U.S. knew it. Tom Howell just stepped on it because it wasn't going to make it. And 2 softies out of the hand of Heath McCormick to start. And China will take it. Steal of 1 to get things going tonight from Omaha. U.S. off to a scuffling start. China steals 1 in the first, but the U.S. has the hammer back here in the second. Couple of rocks in play as Badu Shin lets 1 loose for China. Veteran of high-level Chinese teams in international competition. That one trying to roll to cover in the 4-foot. Best results for Badu Shin were a couple of medals at the last 2 World Mixed Doubles Championships. Silver and bronze the last 2 years.
What? Is the freeze
Of course, that may be a way that China breaks through with a long-awaited medal at the Olympics. Chinese men 4th in Sochi in 2014. And speaking of mixed doubles, Corey Dropkin, we mentioned he and Sarah Anderson, part of Curling Night in America a couple of seasons ago. They won the U.S. mixed doubles title in 2015 and went on to finish 5th in the world in mixed doubles that year.
Line's good.
Close.
It's close.
Close
Line's
line.
good.
T-line.
Yep. Oh,
Line
line's
only.
good. Line's good.
Careful.
14 to it.
Top four.
No,
Chris.
we're there. Might be heavy.
Chris and Tom are just trying to freeze this one on that Chinese stone. Nice weight judgment. Nice throw by Corey.
Couple of fine shots from Dropkin here in the opening end. Always good. You can get a refreshment for that.
Chinese now trying to follow suit and just freeze right on top of that last stone delivered by Corey. Another beauty.
The touch is there for the Chinese at the outset.
Can we slice it? You like playing it with like control?
I got an edge. An edge of this? Yeah.
You have a little more than an edge?
Quarter. To peel it?
Yeah. I think we play it with more weight than
You
that.
take the top.
Looks like Chris can see some of that red rock on the top of the forefoot on the outturn side as well.
Probably like
Could possibly tap that into the Chinese stone right on the top of the button. Rearrange those angles a little.
Now. Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Let's do it.
Control. Okay.
And a look at Chris Plies at the far end. Ready to slide on down and release this rock to head towards the house here, coming to the near end.
Gotta go. Gotta go hard.
Hard, Corey. Come on.
Corey Dropkin getting a workout.
Wanting to roll this across the sheet a little bit. Good. And open things up down the middle.
We keep doing this. Wow. Sorry.
这块出手稍微正常的走，因为我刚才那个稍微有点直手下去了。
It's now 4 rocks all inside the 4-foot blue circle. And the next one coming from Zhou Qiang.
Chinese here are trying to hit and roll just a little bit over on top of their own rock, right in front of their rock on the top of the button. Lost that into the curl just a little bit. They would like to have rolled to the right, maybe one rock.
U.S. still has the counter right now.
I think just enough to get this out. Fine. And have this go too. Okay. I think we gotta move it. Yeah.
It looks like
a firm normal.
those Chinese stones
Like peel.
should all go.
What? Firm? This will go out if you do that. Okay, firm's good then.
Chris just has to hit the first one a little bit high.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, they say. And that's the case there. 2 of those yellow stones removed, but 1 remains.
Looks like they could have hit this just a tad higher, and that rock would have went out the side as well, leaving U.S. line 2. But they did get him out of the 4-foot, open things up a little bit.
Okay.
U.S. does lie 1 with that 1 in the top of the 8-foot white circle. Zhou Dazhou lets that one go from well behind the hog line.
Playing the nose hit. Chinese would love to force the U.S. to take 1.
Maybe setting up like that. Heath McCormick ready for his first rock, second end.
So we're going like there for the draw.
Clean.
We haven't seen it yet really in this competition, Pete. Again, the Americans lost their opening game to Scotland a couple of weeks ago
like
here on
here,
NBCSN Curling Night.
Okay.
And not the best of first ends, but this team may have been the best American team on the season for a large chunk of it last year.
Once for by, Corey, if you can.
Had some great performances, came to U.S. Nationals in Everett, Washington, only needing to get in the top 2 or 3 to win the U.S. spot for the World Championships. And they had one of those weeks when it went sideways. They finished 6th and lost that berth as John Schuster represented the U.S. He and his team ended up with a 4th place finish at Worlds.
Yeah, they had a nice point lead going into those nationals and just weren't able to be quite as sharp as they wanted to be during that competition.
Line's good. Line's good.
Trying to get things to a nice razor's edge on the good side here in Omaha.
Hard! Line's perfect. Come on.
Trying to get this around and buried in the forefoot.
Speaking of razors, how about razor thin, the distance there around the guard?
They snuck that by the guard by just fractions of an inch. Nice weight, though, up in the top part of the forefoot.
Excellent work from Heath McCormick, guy known as the Heater. Just enough juice to get around the corner.
We might want to bring our water bottles onto like this side.
So the Americans looking as China discusses strategy for its final rock here, N2.
太薄不行了，你再薄到这儿，加个直球，直接奔那个去了，一半偏一点。1/3嘛。对对对。对。要不就扎完那，当然扎那。
Looks like the Chinese are talking about a double raise to kill that stone in the forefoot. Driving the red onto the yellow, onto the red.
We'll see if they're up to the task. In action continuing on the adjoining sheets. We'll update you on the other scores of this draw coming up at halftime. Last rock, N2 for China. Well, they hit all the right rocks in the double raise.
Just a little too thin on the first one.
If it's too paper tight, I think we'll just go here.
So the U.S.
What do you got here, Tom?
trying to figure out what to do with its final rock.
Yeah. What do we like?
Well, they have a draw for 2.
We got like 3 inches of air.
They're looking at this double for 3 down the side.
What's it look like?
Looks good.
You got like 3 inches of air.
How many? 3 inches of air.
3 inches of air. Okay, normal.
Got to get to the nose to make this double.
No, do you think it's curl?
Just kill it nose and grab that 3.
You guys like it?
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. It's right up your alley.
Worth the risk at this point?
Well, keep in mind, even end, even though it's the second end.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a draw for 2, full 8 foot for 2, and the lead. They obviously want 3. Shot is makeable, for sure.
They talked about available inches of air. Don't want to have a total air rock on the wrong side. And McCormick trying to find a way to get 3 and give the U.S. a big stretch early.
Got to get relatively close to their own.
Get out.
Got the double, rolled out. That one redstone still the closest, but it's only one for the U.S. Heath McCormick still trying to dial things in for Team USA.
Got tricked a little in the middle of the sheet here. They actually had called sweep at one time. See, that one still had to curl a little bit in order to be good.
Well, the U.S. is on the board, but it's just a single. China has the hammer back as we're tied at 1 after 2. And 3, 1 apiece for the United States and China. Jason Knapp, Pete Fenson, Trenny Kisner, glad to have you with us For the latest edition of our curling season-long showcase, Chris Plies, the third for the U.S., with rocks already in play here in N3.
Chris trying to roll it across the house under cover under that center guard.
That's fine. I'll touch full on that.
Not a lot going on in the house. China with hammer. Potential here for a blank hand.
Which suits the Chinese just fine. They wouldn't be at all upset if they just retained the hammer into the fourth.
Pete, we talked about the Asian contingent, primarily Korea, Japan, and China, all featured prominently at recent World International competitions. And the Chinese men 5th last year. They just missed the playoffs in Edmonton. The year before, China missed the Worlds entirely. In the Olympic field, the top 8 spots of the 10 are filled with the teams with the best finish from the last 2 Worlds. So right now, Pete, this Chinese men's team not qualified for South Korea. They're going to have to win one of those last 2 spots at the last chance qualifier coming in December.
Yeah, keep in mind, Jason, there's around 50 countries that compete throughout the world, and only 10 teams are allowed to compete in the Olympics. So they reserved 2 spots for a second chance qualifier that you're speaking of.
One of those spots, too, reserved for the host country, Korea. So certainly it will be a tough task for China, but the United States was in that spot a couple of years ago, headed into Sochi. John Schuster had to go and win his own spot for the United States and was successful.
Yeah, they had a good championship there after they won the trials. Were able to get qualified for the Olympics.
And no sweat for the United States this time around anywhere. They already have spots locked up in men's, women's, and mixed doubles. And again, those United States teams for South Korea to be determined at the upcoming U.S. Olympic trials. Working our way, it seems, towards a blank here in this third end. Hit and stay for the moment. The next to last rock of the end for China.
Good look there. You can see what it looks like from the hack. Heath can see all that rock plus.
Control.
That distance of about 150 feet or so. Pete, that target looks big to us when we're looking over top of the house. What's it look like when you're leaving the hack?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes those rings look quite large, and other days not so much.
So far, it's been kind of one of those days for Heath McCormick, trying to turn things around. Still early here, N3 of our 8-end game tonight. That one is catching a piece of the house, so China needs to take it out and keep theirs out to keep the blank.
Pretty simple blank, actually. Can hit it on the nose. The shooter will still be outside the rings.
Easy peasy, and China hangs on to the hammer. No scoring in the third. 1-1 it remains, with the fourth end coming up here on NBCSN Curling Night in America from Omaha. Thanks for sticking with us. What a piece for the United States and China inside Baxter Arena in Omaha. NBCSN Curling Night in America continues. The United States looking for its third win overall, but both of the victories thus far have come for the mixed doubles team of Matt and Becca Hamilton. Heath McCormick and the U.S. men, after dropping their opener a couple of episodes ago, looking to notch a W for the first time here in this 2017 edition. Xiao Jilin leading out for China.
China starting with the corner guard here. Interested this end in a little scoring.
Heath McCormick tried to generate a big end back in the second. Couldn't get the three they were aiming for. Settled for one.
Pretty close. Little plus. Pretty close, Bert. I put a good plus on it.
Oh.
Just over.
Okay, line's nice. Wait as long as you can, Corey. Okay, line's good. Line's perfect.
An aggressive move here by Heath with a second center guard. Looking to put a little pressure on China.
Very nice, Tom.
Two on the line, thrown by lead Tom Howe. And China can't remove those guards. They could tick them aside here in the first four rocks. Part of the free guard zone rule put into effect a number of years ago. Trying to increase the scoring in the sport. So instead of worrying about moving the guards, just coming around them. Won't you come on back here in a moment for more N4 action from Omaha. 1-1 here, midway in the fourth. United States and China, somebody trying to seize control of this thing. Red rocks for the United States, yellow for the Chinese.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it either.
Like this?
Then they're doing this.
Well, they're doing what?
They still have a port there, right, too? I don't mind the freeze.
This?
From the Jumbotron, it looked better.
Don't get this advantage all the time. Different places you curl where you're at one end and you can look up at the big screen to look at the house.
Yeah, it's a nice benefit that goes along with playing in an arena such as this one.
Line?
Yeah.
Chris Plies, as opposed to coming down for a look, just looking up. And if you look at Chris Plies, like most curlers in this competition, plenty of advertisements and also a billboard of sorts himself. A lot of tattoos there. A lot of them have special meaning to him.
Back line.
Whoa.
Hack.
First one at age 18.
Back line.
Yep.
A lot of them about curling successes, other about moments in family life.
Whoa. Clean.
Nice shot.
Oh, nice one there by Chris, actually able to roll under the guard too.
Looking at the big screen and making a big play. Remember, China has the hammer in this end, but the U.S. with some strong positions in the house.
Chinese could clean this up a little bit. Could open up the front a little and make a score a little simpler. They've elected to follow Chris down with this intern. Got to go for distance. They want to get this down to the T line.
Barely into the 12-foot. And that ends up basically being like another guard.
Yeah, that's guarding the rock that Chris just threw.
That doesn't set up a triple, does it?
U.S. actually has a chance to lie 4 now.
If you dead nose it, it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Pretty good.
Control.
Okay.
So it's looking better here for the U.S. Again, China does have the last shot. Plies already has it underway.
Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Yep.
Whoa. Yes.
Easy.
Yes.
Nicely done on the nose. They're able to drive it by their own rock in the back.
Another pretty one from Plies, and the U.S. has a count of 4 currently on the board.
Good pair there by Chris to set things up for Team USA. Chinese now trying to make a double here on these 2 rocks in the top of the 8-foot. Didn't like the way he threw that one. He had him sweeping it as he let it go.
Hit and stay, removing 1 U.S. red stone, but 3 more remain in scoring position.
That's actually 4th shot, so
Yeah, I think so.
Team USA looking pretty good here.
Yeah.
You guys like that versus guard?
He's got a few. I think we get another one in there.
Okay. It's all you guys, whatever you think.
You cool with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like there to the button, but I think we need
I think
a
we need less.
fair bit less. So like just inside.
Yeah,
there.
maybe even less. Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to guard those 3 or put 4 back on the board?
Yeah, they've elected to guard it with another one right on top of it, even tapping
We could go here.
shot rock
but they still have the
back a couple of feet. If they can keep the angle right, it's a pretty good result.
I like on it.
Let's go on it.
They still have that port on the left.
Line 4 is not a bad idea.
I like the speed with the.
They got a little pressure on the Chinese right now.
Still should be good.
Speed's the same. It's like a 14-8.
What are we on new line?
Heath McCormick ready to roll. Works in insurance and real estate in Canada when he's not curling. And representing Team USA as a dual citizen of both the United States and Canada.
4.
Well, if you can.
Line's good.
Line's really good.
Line's perfect.
Well, if you can.
5.
You gotta move. 5. Gotta
Line's
wait for it.
perfect.
I gotta wait a second.
Line's perfect.
Gotta wait a second. Go.
Line's perfect.
Chris just waiting for it to turn over there.
Little bounce. Go.
Maybe the best of the night so far for Heath McCormick.
Yeah, and well handled by the entire team there. The communication from Tom and Corey to Chris and back and forth to get that rock placed properly.
So 2 rocks remaining in the end, just 1 for the United States. 4 counters currently for Team USA. What's China do now?
China's looking to tap one of these yellow rocks on the top of the 12-foot. Tap it under the pile, under cover. Really don't have a whole lot else right now.
They're trying to find a way to squeak out 1. 2 would be a bonus at this point. They don't want to give up a truckload here to the United States.
Pretty nice weight, but they just weren't able to get the line right. Hit that rock a little too thin.
Well, it's in there for third shot, will you say?
Yeah, I think third.
Can we guard the yellows?
There a potential to hit that and remove it?
That is really tough. I don't know if we play with that yellow. Let's call timeout then.
Yeah, I think they can hit it right on the nose with the out turn.
And the U.S. opting to take its timeout now.
What's he got?
Can you get one per game? So the U.S. pulling the trigger on the stoppage, they'll be able to bring in some coaching assistance too.
Hey, did we call timeout?
Yeah. Timeout.
They did call time. Corey Dropkin going to make it really official to make sure they stop the clock. Rich Ruohonen serving as the coach with this team here in this event.
You don't even have to be nose. I like it.
I think you got to play.
I do see they got nothing if you make it.
Tap on the street, let him throw it.
It's at least 5.
I like board weight, board. Even if you tick this one, you're not hurting yourself.
I think
right?
you can even go here and
He's got
guard the
nothing.
hole. My question is, guys.
I think it's this all day.
We like
that.
that.
We have to because I think this goes
You make
onto
this, he's got
and
nothing.
You might be able to get rid of the 2 of those.
Yeah.
You play it with like board weight.
Like soft board, eh?
Yeah, just board. You got to move it out of. You got to in case you hang a little, you need to throw it hard enough to tick that one out.
Yeah. Just
You
play
like
it
that?
tight to the guard because there's no
Yeah.
real risk of playing it tight to the guard. You rub the guard, he's got a shot.
Rub
for
the guard,
one.
he's got a shot for 1. That's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
He's got nothing if you make
against
this.
5,
Yeah.
Rich, you like that shot?
I like it. Board weight, right here.
Okay. Yeah,
You make, even if you tick that off that, you got to throw it hard enough so it gets out to the 8 foot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that ice look?
That's pretty good.
Well, they like the idea. They got some confirmation in their conference. This is a chance kind of to maybe put a stranglehold in this game in a weird spot. You don't have hammer.
Yeah, well thought out by the team there to call the timeout. They recognize it as a very important point in the game. Called Rich out and get another opinion. Nose hit here, and they've really got China in a bad way.
Yeah.
Well, Heath McCormick was spot on with that freeze in his last rock. Now trying to come through with a big play to really put the screws to Team China.
Board. Close.
Whoa. Whoa.
Board.
Whoa.
Easy.
Yes. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Clean. Yeah.
Clean.
Yes.
Hard. Whoa.
It's there. Scintillating effort from Heath McCormick, and the U.S. lies 5.
Great shot there by Heath. Good line call. Nice patience by Chris. Wait for that rock to curl and get right up to the nose. Nice and close to the guard. Corey sweeping to hold the line so they get it by their top red rock in the house.
Straight American. Yeah, I know, right?
Heath McCormick loving it. And China, I'm sure, hating it. What do they have?
Well, they've got a tap on this outside yellow one. Just tap it into the 4 foot for 1. This is the same line that he threw his first shot on, so should be pretty close.
Well, they couldn't get it done the first time. If they don't get it done this time, the Chinese will be in a huge hole.
It isn't moving.
And it's not there. A complete miss. Holy smokes. Call the authorities. It's grand larceny. A steal of 5.
Fantastic end by Team USA there, and finished off nicely by Heath McCormick with 2 beauties.
Wow. Heath McCormick and Team USA, they may be on wanted posters after that theft. 6-1 at the halfway point. The Olympic Channel, home of Team USA, presenting NBCSN Curling Night in America. back in Omaha and back inside Baxter Arena, where the United States, thanks to a steal of 5, has a 6-1 lead here at halftime of our game tonight. And a look back at what's transpired. End number 1, China watching the U.S. with hammer, but it's the Chinese that take advantage of a soft Heath McCormick shot to steal one in the first, and the U.S. in the second looking to finally get on the board.
Here Heath with an open draw for 2. It's sort of a team decision here. They decided to play this double down the side for 3. Doesn't quite curl enough to settle for a single.
So the U.S. does even it up. China getting the hammer back in the third, but not a lot going on, and a pretty simple blank here for the Chinese. So they keep the hammer to the fourth, and then one of the strangest sights you'll ever see, Pete, a steal of 5.
Yeah, well, Heath McCormick starts this end out with the double center guard, sending the message to China that he's coming after him.
Whoa, whoa, board, whoa!
And after a nice draw and a nose hit, there's the result.
And China had one last gasp to try to direct one of those stones in the front of the house in, but it's not there and not anywhere. And the U.S. really pads its lead up 6-1. Other scores in this current draw: the Japan women leading Scotland 2-1. Same score for the Japanese men against the Scottish men. And in women's play, Jamie Sinclair and the United States looking to rebound after a loss last episode, leading China 7-1 at the break. Well, for more on the makeup of this United States men's team, let's go down ice side now and check in with Trendy Kisnera.
Good job. Good job.
All right, I'm here with Chris Plies, vice skip for the men's team. I think most of us sort of understand what the skipper does.
Yep.
But what does the vice skip do?
It's really just to kind of bridge the back end of the skip and the front end with those two boys down there, and spend a little bit of time with Skip. I spend a lot of time with the other guys, and just kind of have a little bit of input on the strategy, but kind of just bringing the front end and the back end together.
Now, obviously, when the skip is throwing rocks, then you're playing the role of the skip. How much input do you have? Is it your decision on that end, or is it still sort of a combined decision?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly his. I mean, I kind of just put my input when I see fit, and yeah, there's usually a compromise, and we both kind of get to where we need to be to make the shot and do what's best for each situation.
How are the roles determined on the team? Like, how did you become the vice skip?
I grew up skipping actually through juniors and a little bit into men's, but I just really enjoy playing thirds, a little bit of everything, and so I've been looking for a team that I fit in well with at this position, and I think this is a good team for it.
All right, thanks for explaining. I appreciate it, Chris.
Any lineup that's got a guy like Chris Ply is going to be a pretty good one. Next up for us, next episode of Curling Night in America, the United States women take center stage again. Jamie Sinclair and Team USA against Japan. The U.S. men against China. This one continues in a moment. 6-1 the lead for the United States against China. Heath McCormick got to be feeling pretty good. Let's find out. He's standing by with Trendy Kisnera.
Heath, you guys were very aggressive, and really that whole first half. What is it like to have it pay off to the tune of a 5 in the fourth end?
Yeah, I mean, the start of the game, we felt like we should have probably got 2 in the first end, and we just got caught on a slower path that we didn't, the boys thought the speed was right there, but it just slowed down. So, and played obviously an awesome fourth end, and to get that steal is certainly key.
When you have a lead like that and you have an end like that, how do you approach the second half?
Yeah, the second half, we're just going to play smart, play pretty defensive. I mean, we'll take our chances if we get one, but overall, we're just going to, try and keep it fairly clean.
Yeah, allows you to play a little more conservatively?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Trenny, Heath, thank you. And Pete, important for McCormick and company not to let down. Remember, we saw them a couple of episodes here on NBCSN Curling Night in America. They had a 3-point lead late against Scotland and watched that slip away and lost on a tie-breaking draw to the butt.
Exactly. They need to stay sharp here. They're
Line's real nice.
starting to play pretty well. They got to build off that fourth end. They made a lot of shots there. I'm expecting now with a big lead here, a little run and gun by the Americans. They're Gonna let too many rocks
Boy, Tommy.
build up.
Tom Howell puts one halfway in the button or so to begin end number 5. Now China got to pick up the pieces. Xiao Jilin.
下路可以啊，下路很好。3、2、3之间就行。下路非常好。
Pete, it's one thing if you're a team and you give up a big end to a team that's got the hammer. You give up a steal of 5. A lot of that's got to feel self-inflicted.
Yeah, in that end it was a little self-inflicted. I don't think that they played the end quite as smart as they could have. Heath maybe reeled them into a trap a little bit there. Lots of rocks in play. They had the front all congested, and Chinese were left with some tough shots at the end.
Line's really tight.
Go for line then or what? Yeah.
Right here.
It's right there by itself.
14.75.
See that one laid out by Howell again.
Okay.
And so much we hear
Yeah, he's just not
Skip's
quite getting it out to it on the
teams talk about sticking to their game plan, but just kind of 1 or 2 shots at an end, and all of a sudden you're chasing the other team's game plan.
And that really is what happens. 1 or 2 misses, and it's easy to lose track of what you set out to do at the beginning of the end. Typically with hammer, though, it's always a good idea to put at least 1 point on the board. Teams typically like to avoid giving up steals.
China did have its chances with that last shot, but difficult attempt there in the last end. Can they rally? United States comfortably in front, 6-1.
You give it a go.
Okay. Okay.
United States 6, China 1 here in end number 5 on NBCSN Curling Night in America. China has the hammer and a whole lot of pounding away at the U.S. lead to come. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are from Baxter Arena here in Omaha. Nice combination from Corey Dropkin. Seems it's been his specialty here at the outset of play in Omaha.
He's been throwing it hard with a lot of accuracy so far.
The Schuster sign's gonna have to change it.
He's got the appropriate footwork and body language too. Badu Shid, 75% efficiency after 4 ends. You'd like to be 80 plus, essentially, correct?
I would say 80, 85 up in there somewhere is pretty good. Maybe the lead's a little higher, low 90s. Good is a real good game.
Two scoring ones currently for the U.S. and Dropkin now.
Yep.
His numbers, high quality,
Really gotta go.
almost 94%.
Gotta go. Tom's in the middle.
Hard to the wing as you can.
Yep. Yep.
And that should improve.
They're looking to roll that away just to keep things open, but that'll do. Guard's gone. They've got China playing the game in the house now.
Second one from Bob.
6、7、7、8、轻颗、张科、8、9，稍微大一点，有点减速了，8区、9区。
China looking to get one frozen on top of shot stone.
Okay.
Pretty nicely done.
Good look at those rocks. Numbered. Again, in theory, they should all be the same, but all little different characteristics. And the numbers on them help teams and players note which is which ones may move differently. Chris Plies had that one moving the right way.
Nice throw by Chris there to just pick that Chinese stone clean. right through the hole. Corey's right there. Wouldn't have been bad to clip that red one going by just to get rid of any backing for the Chinese, but that was a good result.
Some sensational shot making here last couple of ends for Team USA. And now China continuing to be a bit off kilter.
And not so good there, a little wide and definitely heavy.
I don't think we need anything. Yeah. Right out. If you knows it, you knows it. Right out. Yep. All the way.
After the last pick, that one a little more straightforward for Chris Plies. U.S. lying 3. Remember, steal of 5 last end. China has the hammer back, and the U.S. applying more heat.
我感觉有点直了。
你感觉你不是有点大吗？
Chinese still trying to make this freeze.
下路很好，
下路非常好。
还行还行。6，看着啊，好。
Working hard to try and give themselves some sort of a shot for 2. Over adjustment there. That one coming up quite a bit short of the target.
If everything goes.
China's inability to hit its spots, giving the U.S. a lot of chances here to keep on keeping on.
On the intern, right?
Yeah. I don't mind this. It should stay. We should ride the center line pretty long. How much weight we playing? Firm. Okay, I like that. Just crotch it. Really? Yeah, just crotch it.
So Heath wants to just hit these 2 rocks right in the middle. Kill the yellow one, get some of these rocks moving from the front of the house.
Not so much about scoring now for the U.S. It's limiting China's scoring and limiting those rocks from becoming implements for China.
Yeah, it's really about defense now for Team USA.
Still those hanging out in the house. 4 counters right now for the Americans.
If they freeze, we can angle that one in.
We got a lot of options.
So good news for Team USA here. Chinese only have 2 rocks left in this end, so worst thing that can happen as far as Team USA is concerned is a score of 2.
China would love if the rocks got to the house at the other end and suddenly multiplied, but since that's not going to happen, they got to find a way to see if they can get that 2.
现在2、11、2把它2。Whoa. Whoa.
Playing a real soft weight hit and roll under the pile.
Zhou Dazhou. Pretty good, although that may be a half a rock uncovered.
Yeah, I think Heath can probably get at it with the out turn. He's also got the in-turn angle in. It's a real short run.
Like a good normal?
Yeah.
Right there, that rock only has to travel about a foot.
I think that the interns are, yeah, I like it. Okay.
I think all you have to do is hit our rock.
Throw it the exact same way you threw that last one. Okay.
You heard that conversation from Trenny before with Chris Plies about the role of the vice skip here. Sometimes it could be countering the decision, but a lot of times kind of verifying what the skip is thinking.
Yeah, and instill a little extra confidence in your skip. Chris there told him, just throw the same weight that you just threw. You threw it good. Do it again.
Chris Plies, and terrific performer, skip or not. 4 straight junior titles at one point for the U.S. Another one as an alternate, and then that junior world title in 2008.
Gotta get it by the top one.
Another winner from the heater.
Nice shot, heater. Like the crowd. Good shot.
This U.S. team is really in rhythm right now.
Yeah, they're responding nicely to that big fourth end. Playing well, playing with confidence. Things started out a little shaky in the first couple ends, but gotten her together since.
And now China with its last rock. This is a must almost for China to just get one on the board and prevent another potential steal for Team USA. Chinese did have a target to shoot at, so the hit and stay is there. And China can breathe a sigh of relief for the moment. They're on the board, but it is a force of 1 for Team USA. 6-2 the score. The Americans have the hammer back. Trying to protect this big lead on NBCSN Curling Night in America. 6-2 lead for Team USA against China. Heath McCormick in the United States looking pretty good against the Chinese men from Baxter Arena in Omaha. 6th end underway. The U.S. has the hammer back. And now China would love to put together a recipe for a big steal in this end.
So China trying to set up that double center guard of their own like we saw Team USA do in the fourth.
Both of Xiao Jilin's rocks. One on the center line, the other one near it. Saw that one from Tom Howe. Just about smack on the button. And here's the second for the U.S. lead in this end.
Right here, Court. Yep, go. 15-2. Should be pretty close. Go,
Don't stop. Looks really good.
Right here. Yep, a little bit. Perfect.
Nice start there by Tom.
Nice pair. Huh? Nice pair.
Kind of choke off that double center.
Badu Shin.
9、9、9、9去10，稍微大点。哇，谁放？
还行。clean。
clean。来吧，hard，哇，hard。
下线。
哇。OK。
Good answer there to get that rock tapped to the tee line. Forming a little pocket there, those two red rocks.
Out.
Yeah.
Possibly some place for the Chinese to freeze a rock.
Now the U.S. has the opportunity to remove that center guard.
Yeah, close, yep. Hard, yeah. Whoa. Yes.
Roll.
Come on, baby.
The Corey Dropkin Disposal Company has been all over the place tonight. He should advertise. Been pretty good at getting rid of rocks.
He's got a lot of rocks moving here so far. Nice weapon to have.
下一个，OK。
It has not been quite automatic, but darn close. Strong work from the U.S. second. Fa Duxin trying to put another one in a tough spot.
2、3之间可以，加个带的。
下路。
加个带，加个带。
2区，3区。
我不擦了。OK。
OK。
Well, guard out there, and the guard destroyer is coming up.
Just a single peel this time for Corey.
That's the hard one there.
Nice throw.
Another quality throw from Corey Dropkick. And Pete, this is kind of the definitive scene for Heath McCormick as a skip, and his team's kind of got this now. When he's on, he's as good as anybody in the United States.
Yeah, he's really got the ability to make a lot of shots. He's worked hard on some of his upweight shots, starting to make more of those. Soft weight's always kind of been his road game. Always drawn well. Hack, backline weight, those all important weights for scoring and making quality rolls to get rocks into good places.
Fine effort there from China, trying to use that pocket of rocks from the U.S.
Yeah, nice shot there by the Chinese. They
Try and hit the red
tap
one
that
too,
yellow
right?
one back into the
Yeah,
pocket.
if you get that, it's fine.
Okay.
That's ideal.
Sit right in front of
Feel
it.
it though.
So Chan had a nice play. Here's Chris Plies.
Yes!
Nice shot. Real good.
Great shot there by Chris to remove that red stone and destroy the pocket there where the Chinese rock was frozen.
Up 4, 3 ends left. U.S. with hammer, but don't want any big opportunities for their opponents.
Just have to limit steals here now by the Chinese. Team USA is perfectly happy with a blank, or scoring is fine in this end too.
2，下路很好。
2，林哥，2，兄弟前进，2，再来。
再反了。
We could even lose our red.
Let's hit it.
Like bump our red and move it.
Yeah. Control.
Good look at the distance between that guard and the rocks in the house as Chris Plies puts his second of this end in play.
Whoa!
Whoa. Really close.
Yep. Whoa!
Really close.
Whoa!
Chris is on fire.
That's fair, bud. Good shot.
Perfect roll there. Just flopping about a half a rock right over in front of their own shot stone.
Chris Plies, another magnificent offering here for Team USA, which is lying 2. See what China has in store here with 2 rocks remaining for each team in the end.
朝一，clean， 5秒。
Zhou Dazhou.
clean， 2， wow， 2， wow。
A That was a call. Just wanted to hit that right on the nose and sit in front of that American stone, just like that.
Always love when the Chinese speak in their native language, but the curling terms creep in. A little clean, little whoa.
Might be able to get two. Yeah, no, I definitely like blasting it more than
I like it.
Of course, they'll pick up a little English, coached by Marcel Rock. Three-time world champion, four-time winner of the Brier, the Canadian men's national championship. Been a leader of the Chinese program in recent years. Keith McCormick.
Yep.
As we've seen the entire end, he's just trying to make this Chinese stone go away.
Oh, sit, baby. That's really nice. Nice shot, Heat.
Hey, Richie, after this end, will you run to the locker room and grab my other
Keith
hat?
McCormick just grooving along. One still in the house for the United States. One left each for each team. U.S. potentially with a chance for two here in the sixth.
Not looking real good for the Chinese here. Those guards are not only off the center line, but they're quite long. They don't really provide any cover to help them steal here. China's now playing the tap out. Wouldn't mind rolling under the guard. About the best result they can have here is to maybe force one. Still, things don't look very good for the Chinese if Team USA scores here in the sixth.
I think we should tighten up.
Yeah, I think center line's good.
We can see all of it.
Take the point here if you're Team USA, or do you blank and keep the hammer?
That's fine. I'm fine nose here.
I'm fine with either in this case. They've got such a nice, comfortable lead. Scoring in the sixth end is good.
Pull up's okay.
Blanking it and taking it to 7 is good as well. Comes down to a team's preference. Some teams like to play the last couple of ends differently.
Little down. Okay. Line's good. Easy, Corey. Clean it. Clean. Clean it. Clean it. Clean it. Yep.
McCormick going to take the hit and take one for Team USA.
What were we playing there? Okay.
The lead is stretched back to 5. 2 ends left. 7-2 the cushion for Heath McCormick and the United States, who are looking to smile their way to victory tonight on NBCSN Curling Night in America. After a big steal of 5 in the fourth, the United States has traded single points with China the last 2 ends. 7-2 the score. Next to last end of our 8-end game here in the 7th, Jason Knapp, Olympic bronze medalist Pete Fenson, Trenny Kisnerick as well. Glad to have you with us for a latest edition of NBCSN Curling Night in America.
Never off. Keep going.
Good.
Good judge, guys.
Tom Howe's first rock right at the front of the button. And Pete, if this American team plays like this in just a few weeks here in Omaha, they're going to be a legit threat to grab that U.S. men's Olympic berth.
Yeah, they definitely will cause problems for the others if they keep up this level of play.
In the U.S. men's and women's competition, looking to overshadow some subpar finishes from Sochi in 2014, where both of those teams were near the bottom of the table. But again, top 6 finishes for the U.S. the last 2 years at Worlds. Top 4 finishes for American men, including a bronze medal for John Schuster's team in 2016. Tom Howe, well, you can smile when you bobble with a 4-shot lead with 2 ends left.
Yeah, and that shot was actually a throw through, so pretty easy to be relaxed.
All right, I like it.
Point is, this U.S. team is feeling good about itself. It's certainly looking to carry momentum throughout this event. And the winner will be crowned in each of the men's, women's, and mixed doubles competitions here from Omaha. And also the overall top nation between Japan, China, Scotland, and the U.S. grabs the American Cup.
Okay.
2-3 OK 刷了，下路非常好，稍微擦一擦。
Again, the throw through for the United States on that rock from Hal previously, just trying to keep things clean with this sizable advantage.
Couple of guards for the Chinese, and now Heath will just ask Corey to start peeling.
That has been no problem whatsoever for Corey Dropkin so far tonight.
Real nice, Corey. I guess I could start getting the other stone and let Tom get the one that comes off.
Badu Shin
OK。
releasing another stone.
3区。
Whoa.
Trying to just put that guard back.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You know, okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Chinese need a couple of misses out of the Americans.
China's got some guards out there. They need some points in a big way here, trailing Team USA. (7-2) cushion for the U.S. against China. And number 7, Heath McCormick and Team USA just cruising along here. Steal of 5 for the Americans in the 4th, the big game changer.
Yep. Clean. Clean.
And the U.S. team really has been solid throughout the course of the game, not really giving China much opportunity.
And Pete, we've seen the U.S. have success here in all their spots. We talked about Corey Dropkin's been a lead at the junior level, Chris Plies, Heath McCormick, but they all seem to fit into this team strategy and executing the shots required of their positions. We've seen that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the team was put together, positions were assigned. I mean, these guys are hardworking athletes. They've done a lot to perfect their craft and be the best they can be at their position.
Excellent lead work from Tom Howe. Dropkin, we've documented his rock removal. Chris Plies with some quality efforts, and Heath McCormick in that skip spot has really come through with some quality efforts from the 3rd end on.
Exactly, a little bit of a rough start in the first couple ends, but really rebounded and played well since.
Nice roll, Chris.
And everybody getting in on the guard removal act right now. Chris Plies taking one out, peeling it away. And for China, unless the miraculous comes, this is one you got to file away to the learning category. And 4th end, just kind of all of a sudden miss, and then a miss, and all of a sudden you're staring at a big deficit.
Yeah, a couple of good shots by the Americans and a couple of misses by the Chinese, and all of a sudden they were in trouble.
And as they say, that escalated quickly in that end, and you get a steal of 5 for Team USA. Here's another from Plies.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. See.
Attaboy.
House pretty open. Not a lot of chances for China.
So enough with the corner guards here. The Chinese have now elected to go around into the house undercover. To try and get it buried.
我有点顶不过了。
Heath McCormick looking like he'll get into the peel party.
Not really any discussion. Just put the broom down.
U.S. just trying to handle its business here. Latter stages of tonight's affair. That will work.
Good shot, Heat.
China now playing the hit to lie 2. Would like to roll to the shooter's left here just to spread those rocks out a little bit.
Chances, though, for a monster end here for China, slim. Zhou trying to enhance those chances with the first of his 2 rocks.
Now, will Heath take a whack at this double? Looks like it's a little less than a half a rock. Or
like that. You really want me to try it? What do you think?
I mean,
it's like less than a quarter, right?
Yeah, it's paper thin.
Yeah. Okay. So that control right there.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Safety first.
yeah, Heath picks out the simpler of the 2 for sure.
like
That double's
less than a
not
quarter.
worth taking a run at. They've got a huge
Less than a
lead here. If they happen to give up 2,
Roll it dead under.
3 up with hammer coming home, they're in pretty good shape. But he's going to try and roll underneath that Chinese stone, at least part way. Preferably not directly under it so that China has a nose hit for 2.
Close.
Could roll it half under would be just about right.
Yep. Yes. Do it. Hard. Do it. Hard. Do it. Hard. No roll. Sit.
We're good. Not bad. Nice try by Corey there to hold the line, but looks like that rolled almost completely open.
Close.
Yeah.
Still the primary objective achieved, removing one more Chinese rock.
Make a shot.
Good work there with the brooms by Tom and Corey. Just not able to hold the line.
Still, the U.S. knows no matter what happens here, it'll have the lead headed to the final end.
朝先小一点啊，力量偏小一点，但是这个顶有点猛啊。
See, straighten that a little right upon release. They have to wait for it to curl.
And they want it to move. Not really. Will that hang in the house? It won't. Only one for Team China. And do we have concession? We do. Down 4 with 1 end left, and the U.S. would have had hammer. China says, let's call it a night. 7-3 the final. Back to wrap things up from Omaha in just a moment. NBCSN Curling Night in America has been brought to you by Cryomax 8-Hour Cold Packs, the most advanced cold therapy technology available today. By the members and sponsors of USA Curling. By the World Curling Federation, proud supporter of curling everywhere. And by TeamUSAShop.com, where every purchase helps support your Team USA athletes. A check of the line score from this edition of NBCSN Curling Night in America, and a big fat 5 in the fourth end tells the story. A steal of 5 for the U.S., vaulting it to a 7-3 lead. And now Trenny has a heat check, checking in with a heater, Heath McCormick.
Heath, after the way the first draw went against Scotland, how good was it to get a match like this in against China?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, to bounce back with a win, of course. Like I said, we played pretty nicely in the first game, but obviously it didn't work out. But and the first couple ends could have went a little better here, but overall we played a nice game. And once we got control, we were pretty solid.
You told me earlier that you guys worked on some things in the summer. You started to apply those, against Scotland. Were you able to maybe iron out some of the details here against China and see some success with the things you were working on?
Yeah, I mean, those things are, they're a work in progress still, and they will be. I mean, obviously our ultimate goal is leading up to the trials, and we want to have everything perfected by that point. Yeah, we got it all down, and we're working good towards it.
Pretty rowdy crowd in Omaha. What is it like to play in front of a fan base that's engaged and really into it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, these guys are great. They're yelling, screaming, carrying on. It's good times, yeah, especially when you win.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Everything feels a little bit better when you win. Today's shot of the day brought to you by the 2018 World Men's Curling Championship. Pete, let's go back to the fourth, and this just turned into a score fest here for Team USA without the hammer.
Yeah, great end played by Team USA. And Heath McCormick is able to close the deal here with a soft weight, out-turn, nose hit to live 5, and really squeeze the Chinese.
Now the hit and stay package is the #1 way to watch live curling at the upcoming Men's Worlds in Las Vegas. Ticket and hotel packages for the event available at OrleansArena.com. Other scores from this draw: Japan's men's team gets a win, ditto the Japanese women. And Jamie Sinclair, the United States women, had a big lead. They hang on to eke it out 7-6. So the overall scores in the team competition, Japan still in front, but the United States right there at 4-2, followed by Scotland and then China. Coming up next, we'll see if the U.S. can gain ground on Japan as Jamie Sinclair and the American women are matched up against the Japanese in our next edition of NBCSN Curling Night in America. On this night, Heath McCormick and the American men, they had the right recipe of success against China. Big fourth end turned out to be the difference. For Pete Fenson and Trenny Kisnerick and our entire crew, this is Jason Knapp saying have a great night, and thanks for making this another NBCSN Curling Night in America.